Alright guys, I'm back on cash, but we're here with one objective today, and it's to build the Perfect Black Loadout. And the good news is, this doesn't come out too expensive at all, and it actually includes the combination you're looking at right now. Now, these are sports gloves, Nox, one of the best gloves in the game in my opinion. They are $675 for field tested, but this is including overpay for a tier 2 pattern that I was able to find on a third-party marketplace that you could even bargain on and try to get a little bit cheaper, which means this combination with the skeleton vanilla is basically $1,350. Now, you get a mean-looking knife and some very clean gloves. If you wanted to spend a bit more on a knife and you wanted something a bit meaner, you could look at the M9 Bayonet Black Laminate. This is field tested, which would cost you about $910. So you're talking like, what is this, like a solid... This is basically a solid like $240 increase compared to the skeleton. Agent-wise, for the Black Loadout, I definitely want to go sleeveless, which is why I'm going for Commander Ricksaw, who you can't see right now. But for context, he looks like this, and he costs just under $13 at the time of planning. As we go on to the CT side pistols, we have the USP Ticket to Hell, which is about 85 cents in minimal wear at the moment, and hoping that this nice fire behind me is giving a nice glow onto the skins. For the P250, I found myself going for the Cartel, which is almost $7 in field tested. Yes, you are going to see a lot of silver tones with this Black Loadout, just with the nature of what the CS skin options are. And on that as well, you'll see skins with accent colors like the Desert Eagle Conspiracy. And obviously, this is pretty much a full black skin. It's got this like light sort of yellow strip down it as well, and it runs you just under $11 in factory new, but it looks super clean with the Nox. It might be an interesting pick for the Joe Berettas, but I've gone for the Elite 1.6, which is very similar to default, but for 16 cents, or sorry, 18 cents in minimal wear. They're definitely worth that 18 cent spending because they're like 18 cents better than defaults, for sure. And then while I really like the anodized gunmetal for how it looks, I can't justify the price for it, so I'm going to say silver quartz for the 5.7. Factory new, 76 cents, it will do the job nicely. Normally, when it comes to the MP9 for this sort of thing, I would suggest the featherweight, but it has a lot of white spots in it, and because this is the Perfect Black Loadout, I'm trying to reduce that white as much as possible, so the dart, at 64 cents in minimal wear, is going to be my pick here. Multiple layers of black and grey and small accent of white. Again, lots of these silvers coming through with the MP7 armor core here. The good news is, if you are using an MP7 and want this skin, it's 15 cents for minwear. And you might be noticing a trend. Black skins can be incredibly cheap and good value for money to pick up. This is 12 cents for a UMP carbon fiber in factory new. And then even on the XM, we can go and get the likes of the black tie for under $1 in minimal wear. Now granted, this has more white coming into it, but I would say this is still a majority black skin. And then, you know, we're going to go for the Swag 7 over on the Mag 7. This is well under $1 in minimal wear, so you're really not breaking the bank at all for this one. Over in the M4A1S, I really like having the Basilisk as an option here. I think this is definitely a slept-on M4 skin. Appreciate why some people maybe steer away from it because it's not this crazy flashy piece, but overall, I think for like $8.30, this is pretty mean looking. And for the M4A4, you really got two choices. You go for what I've picked here, which is the Edgelord, which is $1.39 in minimal wear. Or you could go get a magnesium instead, which is 78 cents in a minimal wear, but it has much more silver coming out in it. And overall, because the Nox naturally have a little bit of brown, I think this bronzy element of the Edgelord actually works in pretty well. Now, the total cost of this loadout is going to include the most expensive op that I've picked, which is the op Graphite, which is $141 for factory new. And I think this shot right here shows how well it looks with the Nox. And honestly, even though it's a black loadout, I think if you go put a nice hollow sticker on the scope here, you will be cooking. However, if you don't up much and you don't want to pay this crazy amount for the graphite, for $3.70, you'll be able to go pick up a minimal wear black now, which is a pretty decent skin if you ask me. Then we have those accent colors that I referenced coming through here with the likes of the ZX Spectrum. This is $3.92 for minimal wear. Again, a bit of a price rise with this since the Famous got the buff, but I think it is slowly starting to come down and settle a little bit. And the AUG, honestly, was kind of a letdown for me, so I'm only going to spend 10 cents here for a Tomcat because it is like the closest thing I can think of making it work without having to get a lot of bright colors in. Now, much like the last video, we're going to be going for Sir Bloody Silent Darrow for $30 over on the T-Agent because I want those accents, I want those tattoos coming through, but I want the accents to be silver rather than gold, and overall he's got the black mask on as well, so it looks like a bit of a badass. I can't lie, I surprised myself a little bit with the Glock because I went for the red tire, which is $4.30 in factory new. You have to note, this wears fairly poorly, but it is also pattern based, so maybe just have a little look around before you pick one up if you are in the market for one. With the Titan 9, you can get a really nice option in the cutout. It's just a bit of a shame that it costs $3.50 for even field test. So obviously, the top is very nice, very cool, intricate design, but then the fact that the rest is just this sort of plain default grey lets down a little bit, but with it being a black loadout, it then still fits in the theme at least. Now, I realised I forgot to show the love to the ZZ in the last video, so we have it here. ZZ Tuxedo, 78 cents minimal wear. If you're going to use one, this is what you should be picking up. But you guys let me know, would you go ZZ or RE? I'm making you pick one. Which one would you equip? And once again, we have some accent colors coming in. This is the Mac 10 light box, of course. It's 16 cents in minimal wear. This is an absolutely banging value for money skin. Regardless if you're not themed at all, you're looking for cheap purple skins, you want cheap black skins, this is just fantastic. We do get to go back to mostly blackout with the Lumina PP Bison here, which is just over $1 for minimal wear. And as I always mention, much like some of the other PP Bisons, the magazine is where it gets a lot of cool elements. Like we've got the fuel rod with the nuclear green, the high roller with the poker chips in it, and then this is actually a torch as the magazine. Kind of cool. I went into the MP5 agenda a little bit here, but unfortunately there's not really any pure black skin to go for, so 62 cents for the gauze in minimal wear is going to be my suggestion, because with those sort of like silver detailings and the grades, I think it still fits in overall with the vibe of the T side anyway on the loadout. Another one that you guys get to go hunting for is the metallic squeezer. You can see it here. I've priced $2.10 because that's a little bit of buffer on, like, say, overpay maybe for patterns that you want it. But it's obviously this black base. You can see silver, bronze, and gold markings on it. And as I say, there's like the 1,000 patterns offer, or 999, whatever. So you can really go find one that you like, and you might not have any overpay at all, or you might have overpay. So take that as it is. Then when we come to the AK, there is really only one option it can be for full black, and it has to be the slate. Now, what is nice about this is it's literally $6 for minimal wear, so you don't have to break the bank at all when it comes to picking up an AK, which is kind of cool, and it is actually full, complete black. We don't have any weird accent colors in there, which means it is a wonderful canvas to craft on. And honestly, with the silver accents of this agent within the black gloves, I think this looks really smart. With another full black vibe being the carbon fiber for the Scout. Now, I've priced for a souvenir version, which is $1.45 for the factory new. Obviously, it doesn't have the goals on it here. This is what it would look like if you were to scrape those, and that would probably be my suggestion. And then we get the joy of ending off with a SG skin, and I'm going to go for the heavy metal for two reasons. One, it's nice and cheap at 23 cents for minimal wear, but it is a black base with silver accents, with some other accents going on, and if you are going to use it, I think again with the silver bracelets that the agent has on, that means the silver comes together really nicely. But when it comes to total loadout cost, if you were to use this combo here, the skeleton knife vanilla with the Nox tier 2, you'd be looking at $1,586. Now, to get sports gloves with an, I'm going to call it S tier sports gloves with a good pattern, not tier 1, but a good pattern, and then a skeleton knife, which outside of the draw animation, and being so hard to hit, the rare draw animation, is a fantastic knife, and fully themed for this price is kind of cool. And then as mentioned at the start, you do have the option to look at an M9 bayonet black laminate, or any black laminate for that matter if you wanted to, and this would cost you $1,824 if you went for this over the skeleton vanilla. So I want you guys to let me know which knife you would pick in the comments down below, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Also, let me know what you think about inspecting skins on cache. Obviously, this is literally my second time on the map. I've still got a lot of exploring to do, and I got to find the best spots to inspect skins, but any feedback on that would be greatly appreciated. Before I go, I am going to keep waffling briefly, just say a big thank you to the YouTube members that continue to support the channel. It is greatly appreciated. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button when you're around here, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.